We're going to talk about an exercise that I love that is really a system of decision making and a system to develop a strategy for your life and a method for building mental toughness and mental resilience and emotional maturity and emotional resilience and every other domain that we feel like is important that I teach. If you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're confused, if you're frustrated, if you don't know what to do, if you feel lost, if you feel down, if you're having a pity party, if you're really hating yourself, everything. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do. This particular exercise, it gives clarity, it gives focus, you get centered, you build all of those things. It's really cool. There was a period of time where I would do this literally every day to start my day in a small version, but as the exercise grew over time, I made sure I would come back to it at least every quarter and lay it out, and I would use that strategy, and I'd put it on the wall, and I'd put it in my calendar, and I'd put it in my book, and I would actively stick with it for as long as I could. But life happens, you get busy, you get focused on other things, and it fades out. So it's really important to come back to. It gets big too, so it evolves over time. It starts super small, and every time you come back to it, it expands. And we're going to walk through it right now. And it's, I don't have my big stack. I just made up a quick one, and we will develop it together over time. But you'll see it in real time of me just talking out loud and thinking through this process. And it's making a priority list and an action list of what you're going to do and a queue of what behaviors will come next. So what I did was I got a bunch of note cards, and I wrote just on one side of the note card in big words a priority of mine. And a priority could be things that are important to me, specific values, specific goals, desires, and then the details of them would come afterwards. So one of the most important things, obviously to me, is family. So family is written real big on the note card, and we lay them out. We have everything. We lay everything out, and we rank them in terms of what is the most important thing for me that I need to focus on before the next one and the next one. So you literally get out a list and just start with 5. What are the 5 most important things in your life? And you start with them. And for me, I had my first 5, which have always been my first 5, and I'll share that with you guys. Faith, family, my friendships, my financial situation, currently and future generations, and then forgiveness. Forgiving myself, forgiving other people, for anything. Allowing things that do not matter truly slide. Of myself and others. So we take those 5s and we rank them, and we talk about why they are in that order. And I'll start with that. For me, the most important thing was faith. Without my faith, nothing else can hold up. If I don't have faith, everything else is going to crumble, because that's giving me my focus, my resilience mentally and emotionally, and has my entire life in perspective, and everything is driven towards my faith and that relationship. And if you want to know more about that for me and the 3,000 hours I have spent actively researching, engaging, and walking myself through it, we can do that. The next most important thing for me was my family. Now, how I interact with my family and what I bring to my family and the growth and development and future of the family and the strength of the family, I feel like is very much dependent on my level of faith and how I maintain that. So faith was put on top. I'll try to get a second camera if we need to. The next thing for me was friendship. The relationships that I have outside of my family, super important to me. And they kind of overlap. Obviously, my immediate family from blood and marriage. But my really close friendships definitely overlap. I feel like they are very much considered the same from my closest friends. The next one was forgiveness. Forgiving myself, that is mental and emotional, and then forgiving other people for everything. So I don't carry anything with me. I won't carry resentment, anger, whatever. And then finance, so that we can live a life that I want to live, to have the experiences that we want to have, and set my family up for the future, and I'd put them in order. And then when it came to making decisions of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, I'd make them in that order, and I'd structure my day around it. So the first thing I'd do as soon as I woke up is things that involved reinforcing, developing, growing, and reestablishing and exploring and engaging in my faith. And the very next thing would be family. Even when I was single and living alone, I would reach out to family at that point. And then friends, I'd reach out to my friends. Forgiveness, I would reflect on things that I was carrying with me, and I would try to write them off with prayer and meditation, and then look at my financial situation, where I'm at, what steps I needed to take to get to the next level. And that would be how I'd spend the first 30 minutes of my day, going through those in that order. And when I would do that, everything was better. So I was working, I was in school, I had plenty of other stresses in my life. I was young and just bought a house. And it was easy to get overwhelmed and stressed, but if I'd wake up each day and I'd hit those priorities, and at the end of each day I'd hit those priorities, everything felt better. But that's just the start. It was a very small part. It expands, and you start to add more things to the list. Things that make you happy, things that you want to do, goals that you have, values that you want to adopt and express, and so on and so forth. And I mean literally anything that you want to do, or anything that pops up that you think is important, and it starts to grow. So I started just writing some quick ones down that were from me and from members. I want to build a deck on my house. I want to maintain and upgrade parts of my home inside. I want to spend more time reading and writing because I enjoy it and it makes me happy. I want to grow and evolve my work and my career and my business in unique ways. I really want to learn how to cook more meals better. I really want to improve and maintain my health short and long term with specific markers. Integrity-based actions and maintaining it is a high value that's important to me. And then it expanded further. I want to post more on social media to get a message, maintain a presence, increase engagement, particularly we're during this lockdown right now. So increasing social engagement and delivering a message. I want to be able to get double unders. I can't get double unders. I want to have six-pack abs and look really good. I want my friend from work, Carol, to like me. She doesn't like me, and it really bothers me. Obviously, some of these are from members, right? So we start adding those all to the list. And then simple things, and obviously we're in the gym, so I'm going to use gym-based examples for this that you guys have sent out to me. I want to get handstand push-ups, more than one. I want to string toe to bar together because I struggle at stringing toe to bar. I want to improve my ranking in the CrossFit Open. I want to have the biggest lifts in the gym. I want to deadlift more than everybody, bench press more than everybody, have the biggest biceps. All of those things. I want all of that. I want to have the coolest, nicest car out of everybody I know. I want to have the biggest house out of all of my friends and family. Now, obviously, these don't seem like they're going to rank high on a priority list when we're making it. And you can see that because we're in the middle of this exercise. But the point is, every thought that I had, every feeling that I had, or the ones that you sent me, get added to the list on purpose. Even when you're not doing this exercise, you just write it down. Something popped up. I have this feeling, this thought, this emotion. I had any response, you write it down, you add that card to the list. So every day you could be adding one card, or every week you add one card. Whatever it is, you put it into a stack. And of course we moved. I don't have my original stack with me that was massive. But if I did, it was huge and it was always out and available, and I'd open it up and I'd sort all of it. And then whatever thing caused me to go back to the list, if I'm stressed or frustrated about something, that would be the first one that I would use to rank all the others to give it into perspective. So we have this list, and this list is going to be good enough, and this is how we're going to do it. And I'm going to prop up, try to do 2 cameras here so you can see me working through it maybe. And boom. So we'll use handstand push-ups, I think, as the example that people have said, reaching out to me, okay? They're like, I want to get better at handstand push-ups. I get frustrated. And this happened in the CrossFit Open quite a bit. Like, there was a handstand push-up event, and plenty of people were pissed that they did not perform better on that event because they didn't get as many handstand push-ups as they wanted, and it caused them legitimate stress. And it happens every time we do level method testing. Like, I could make a card right now, level up to blue on everything. Level up. Oh, spelled it wrong because I'm writing fast. Level up to blue. It's actually surprising how many of you were seriously upset when you turned out to be a yellow or an orange. You're like, I'm more fit than this. I should be better than this. And it was actual legitimate emotional distress to do it. So I'm going to add that one to the list. And the reason we do that is to give you some serious perspective. I know not everybody feels this way, and it sounds ridiculous, but there are some of you who fell into this, and 100% of us are guilty of a different thing causing this amount of distress. People that want to level up to blue performed and got oranges or yellows on a level method test and were legitimately upset and angry for up to 3 full days. And because they didn't score blue on the level method, it took a lot away, almost everything away from 3 full days of their life because that thing happened. You didn't perform as well in the CrossFit Open, and you're legitimately upset and you feel bad for like 3 days. That's the stuff that I'm talking about, that this is going to help with. So here we are. And I take these things and I start to lay them out. So obviously I have this family super high up on the list. I want to have the biggest house out of all my friends. And this one will pop up if your friends bought a house that's bigger than yours and you don't like it. Then we have, I want to have all the biggest lifts in the gym. That's really important to me right now. Would I rather be the strongest, most fit dude in the gym, or would I rather have the biggest house out of all my friends and in the neighborhood? Well, right now, like, the fitness is cooler for me. I like CrossFit, so I'd rather do CrossFit right now. I want to have the biggest lifts in the gym. But I also want to be better than everybody at everything, so I want to be a blue level. That is more important to me. I probably wouldn't sacrifice my family to be a blue level person, so family is going to go over top of that, right? I want to have the coolest and the nicest car out of everybody that I know. But the car is not more important to me than the house, which isn't more important to me than any of that. So that's where that's going to fall down on that list. Then we go to the next thing, faith. Faith is the single most important thing for me, followed by family. So they're going to be high up there. Right now, this is our ranking system. And remember, this is our ranking system because I was upset that I didn't score higher on the level method, and I was upset because I couldn't do as many handstand push-ups, which is the thing holding me back, so that ranked up here. Remember, I was mad for 3 days because I didn't do as many handstand push-ups as I want to, and I get frustrated a little bit every day when we go to do the workouts in the gym because I can't get as many handstand push-ups as I want, and I can't get as many handstand push-ups as that guy next to me, and it starts to bother me. And I'm doing all these orange level stuff, and I shouldn't be, and it bothers me. And every single day, the thing that's supposed to be super fun, my health, which is very important to me, I'd rather be healthy and functional and happy with my family for a very long time, then I would rather have a skill like handstand push-ups or be a stupid level in the level method, right? That part's obvious. And here we're already starting to solve specific problems. I've been upset every time I work out for days, weeks. Some of us have been upset for months every time we do handstand push-ups or certain level method tests because we're not as good as we want to be. But as soon as you lay it in perspective, wouldn't you rather be healthier and happier so that you could seriously take care of your family and have the interactions that you want to? Wouldn't that be better? So then why are you sacrificing your health by not exercising as much because you're frustrated, or intelligently because you're doing too much things that are too hard, committing too much mental and physical energy and time to it because you want to level up? This is where your priorities start to shift, and when you lay it down, it's pretty obvious, oh shit, that is a dumb decision. I should prioritize my health over handstand push-ups. Who cares about handstand push-ups when we lay it out here, right? Boom. Finance. That means I want to make a certain amount of money. I want to have a certain type of career. I want to get us to a certain point because I want it to fuel my family life, right? And if I lose a certain amount of health, I'm not going to be able to maintain that finance. And that finance is going to be impacted by my health substantially. So these things are obvious. And yes, I would much rather have and live a certain lifestyle and set up a certain lifestyle for my family than be able to do handstand push-ups and level method. We want to travel. We want to do things. We want to create experiences. I'd rather do that than be a fit dude in the gym. So next time I get frustrated that I can't do handstand push-ups, I'm going to look at my perspective here and be like, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. Next time I don't score a blue level on a blue test, I'm going to be like, okay, so what? Did I do things that made me healthier? Am I serving my priorities in order that I want and need to? Yes, absolutely. Then who cares, all right? It's going to start bothering me less and less as we start to build this up. I want to read and write more because these things make me very happy. They make me very healthy mentally and physically. They help me think better. They help me get better at my job. They help me improve my health. They help me in a lot of ways. I'd rather spend extra time, me personally, I would rather spend extra time reading and writing than I would spend extra time working on handstand push-ups or working on random things in the gym to improve my level method. So if I have a choice, I have an extra hour in the day, what would I choose? Random exercises to help improve my level and level method? I know I spelled this wrong, whatever. Would I commit that time to get better at handstand push-ups? Would I commit that time to having the biggest lifts in the gym? Would I commit that time to improving my score in the CrossFit Open, which I don't have here? Would I commit that time to working on stringing together toes to bar? Or would I rather commit that time to reading and writing? Because that's going to improve my health mentally, physically, emotionally, which is going to improve my interactions with my family, which is going to help me maintain my faith, which is going to help it go all the way back down. I would much rather spend time reading and writing because that's going to help me improve my finances. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to help me be smarter in every way that I would need to, including career and the ability to make money. So I would much rather do reading and writing than extra handstand push-ups or extra toes to bar, right? Then we get to the next one, forgiveness. This is super important. This is very high on the list. Actually, since we are actively working through this exercise right now together, this is happening in real time. Right now today, I'd say my ability to practice forgiveness is second only to maintaining my level of faith. Because if I can't forgive myself for mistakes, if I can't let go of guilty feelings and negative self-talk and actively creating mental resistance in my brain, I'm not going to be able to have the types of interactions and serve my family the best way that I could, which includes teaching my kids habits to be mentally and emotionally healthy and stable. If I can't forgive myself, that's going to cause a lot of distress. That's going to impact my family life and immediately impact my health. It's going to impact my ability to focus and enjoy the reading and focus and enjoy the writing. If I can't forgive myself for making mistakes and being a human and being adaptable, it's going to have a huge negative impact on my finances and the type of work that I do and the career that I have. So forgiveness just shot way up that list. I need to practice forgiving myself and forgiving other people so that I can always be clear and focused and ready and resilient. So we're going to go back down here and pull some more things off of these cards. I'm upset because Carol at work doesn't like me. She's always a B to me. She's always mean. She doesn't treat me with respect, and it ruins my day every day. I go to work. I hate being at work. I get home. I'm frustrated. I try to go to the gym. I can't focus at the gym. It negatively impacts everything that I'm doing. I don't understand why she doesn't like me. I really want her to like me. So that happening, that thought process, that level of distress I'm feeling because I want Carol to like me, I am acting out Carol being the top priority in this example. But when in reality, if I start to sort it based on priorities, do I want Carol to like me, or do I want to have and practice and grow my faith? I'd rather grow my faith. Do I want Carol to like me, or do I want to practice forgiveness? Obviously, forgiveness. Do I want Carol to like me, or do I want to have quality time with my family? In that case, F Carol. Who gives a shit? Do I want to be healthy and happy so that I can serve all of these things and feel good for life, or do I want random Carol to like me? Obviously, I want that. If I have an extra hour per day to spend time, am I going to spend it reading or writing, or am I going to spend it trying to get Carol to like me? Well, okay, too bad, Carol. I'm going to spend that time reading and writing. Would I sacrifice my financial situation, which includes the quality of work that I'm doing, the type of work that I'm doing, how meaningful that work is, how much that work serves finances, that career, whether or not that's going to make me happy and healthy long term? Would I sacrifice any of this to get to a point where Carol likes me? Would that make me feel better? Absolutely not. At this point, I don't give a shit what Carol has to say about anything. I don't care if she doesn't like me. But let's keep going for the sake of building this out. I want to get better at handstand push-ups. Would I rather be a rock star at handstand push-ups or have that chick that I don't even know from work named Carol like me? I'd rather be good at handstand push-ups. That's fun for me, and I'd rather level up. Actually, I'd rather level up to a blue than be good at handstand push-ups, because blue is going to be more encompassing of the health and fitness stuff that I want to do. Then handstand push-ups would be cool, but way cooler than Carol. I want to string toe to bar together because that's a fun, cool skill too. And I want to lift heavy weights and be strong. All of those things are more important to me. I want to be able to do double unders more than I want Carol to like me. Okay, so at this point, all the stress and frustration that I had because Carol doesn't like me and I want her to like me now seems kind of ridiculous. And this is just the beginning. Like, we're looking at 15 or 20 cards here. As I did this over the course of 4 or 5 years, I had like 270 something index cards that we would line up. And of course, the number would have been way higher, but you start to throw them out when you realize it's not even worth having written down. It's not even worth thinking about. But let's continue. I want to have the biggest house out of everybody I know. But why? You know, when these things pop up. And this is a real life example, not from me, but from one of my friends. They bought a house. It was a big house. They were excited. And then friends and family bought bigger houses. And then they were upset. The people were buying bigger houses. And they were not saying it directly, but they were making excuses and reasons and gossip and saying mean things. And it was interesting. Having the biggest house shot up to the top of their list. And it was causing distress and everything else because that became their focus and that became their priority. So then we start to rank it. Would I rather have a big house or my faith? Faith, easy. Would I rather have a big house or be able to forgive? Forgive, easy. Would I rather have a big house or my family? Not even close, family. Would I rather have a big house or my health? Would I rather spend my time reading and writing or sitting in a big house reading and writing? Do I want to have a great financial situation for myself and my future and meaningful, fulfilling work and career that I can grow? Or a big old house? I'd rather have this. Would I rather be fit in all these different skills as they serve back to my health and be able to do all these cool things with my body? Or would I rather have the biggest house? Well, I want to have all these different things. Would I rather have a big house or would I rather have Carol like me? Okay, well, obviously I'd rather have a big house than Carol. I just threw Carol away. I'm never going to consider again whether or not Carol likes me. Boom. That's one thing we just resolved. That's why we're doing this exercise. I won't do the coolest, nicest car because it's the same example as the biggest house. These are really low on the priority list. I want to learn how to cook. Why do I want to learn how to cook? I want to learn how to cook because I know I have it here somewhere. Build a deck. I want to improve my score in the CrossFit Open. We'll go back to that. I want to have six-pack abs. So these will end up being linked. I want to learn how to cook. Why do I want to learn how to cook? Because I want to have six-pack abs. Now, here we go. I'm frustrated because I'm not sticking to my diet really well. I don't know how to cook delicious foods that are healthy, so I just go for convenient or easy and things that taste good, so I'm not losing weight. I'm getting frustrated. All of my success is stunted because I don't know how to cook well for healthy stuff, and I'm angry every day and frustrated. Boom. Again, we go through the process. Would I rather know how to cook or have my faith? Would I rather know how to cook or forgiveness? Would I rather know how to cook or family? Would I rather know how to learn how to cook or have my health? Now, these start to get linked. If I can learn how to cook, that's going to help me improve my health a lot. A whole lot. So this became pretty important all of a sudden. Now, I want to learn how to cook because I want to have six-pack abs. But I want to be healthy first. Obviously, I'd rather be healthy and not quite have six-pack abs than have six-pack abs and know that my health is deteriorating and I'm going to die because my health is serving my family. That was a quick way to clear that up. But learning how to cook is going to serve my health, which is going to serve my family. So learning how to cook just became a big priority for me. Would I rather learn how to cook or spend my extra time reading and writing? Now, these are going to be closely linked. So I'm going to have to start splitting decisions and splitting time. I'm going to learn how to cook, and I want to read and write with that extra time. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time learning how to cook than I am reading and writing whenever those opportunities pop up. But I don't have to only do learning how to cook. But if I have 1 extra hour per week and I spend 30 minutes learning how to cook and 30 minutes reading and writing, that's fine. What if I spent time reading and writing about how to cook? That would be great, right? It is more important to me than finance because it's going to serve my health, it's going to serve my family experiences for sure, and it's actually going to save me a lot of money on finance. I'm not going to go out to eat as much, and I'm not going to spend as much money on medicines in the short and the long term. I'm probably not going to spend as much on insurance because I'm healthy. So learning how to cook is more important than finances and career, so it's higher up on the list. Now, all of my fitness goals that are really important to me, and I'd rather be a badass in the gym than a badass in the kitchen for a lot of reasons socially. You're never going to go out in public and have people be like, man, look at that guy's body. He must be a great cook. That's not what they think. They think, hey, he's really fit in the gym. But if I learn how to cook, and I learn how to cook well, and it serves my purpose for overall health and losing fat to get six-pack abs, it's also going to make all of these things better. So if I want to level up to a blue, learning how to cook has to be a higher priority. If I want to get handstand push-ups, learning how to cook has to be a priority. If I want to string toes to bar, if I want to be the strongest dude and the biggest dude in the gym, if I want to get better at double unders, learning how to cook has to come first. It has to be a priority. So when it comes to decision making and whether or not I should be kicking my butt because I'm not working out as hard, or if I should be running myself into the ground into the gym, maybe I shouldn't be spending as much time doing hard metcons and extra volume of work. I should just commit that freaking time to learn how to cook, and then everything would improve from there. So this now has become a system of clearing your brain, prioritizing, and now decision making. How should I spend my time if I want to accomplish all of these goals? Learn how to cook first. And if I want to have six-pack abs, which is important to me, not as important as learning how to cook, but a key factor in me getting six-pack abs is going to be understanding how much I'm eating. So weighing and measuring and tracking my macros. I need to weigh and measure my food if I'm going to cook effectively. That's true. I'm going to need to weigh and measure my food to understand my macros in order to get six-pack abs. Now, I didn't write it down, weigh and measure my food, but double unders, biggest lifts in the gym, string and toe to bar, handstand push-up, leveling up to blue, all would be positively impacted and are less of a priority than weighing and measuring food and tracking macros because I'm learning how to cook because I want six-pack abs. Do you see how this is coming together as a tool for decision making? If I want to improve my rank in the CrossFit Open, I certainly need to level up to blue. I certainly need to get better at handstand push-ups. I certainly need to get better at string and toe to bar. I got to get stronger. I got to be able to do double unders. So Improving my ranking in the CrossFit Open comes below all of these things, including learning how to cook and weighing and measuring food. Now, the reason I use improve my rank in the CrossFit Open is because every year when it comes up, there are a number of people who get very, very frustrated because they don't perform as well as they think they want to on some random Metcon. And then we look back and it's like, hey, you practiced handstand push-ups 10 times over the course of a full year. You didn't practice string and toe to bar. You didn't do things to actively get stronger. You just did a bunch of Metcons. You skipped double under day all the time. What were you thinking was going to happen when you went to the Open? And then you don't perform as well, and then you're angry for days and days and days and days because this not only shot up above all of these priorities, which was a mistake, that's a poor decision-making system, but it shot even higher up on the list. Boom. And I want to perform better. See, it says improve. It should have said perform better, improve rank in the CrossFit Open. And then you're frustrated about everything. But if we take it, damn it, I did the Metcon this morning. I did not get as many rounds as I wanted. And we come in here and we look at our system for decision making, system for how much we care about each thing, how much emotional energy we commit to it. My rank in the CrossFit Open plummets. And really, once you get to a huge number of cards, what your worldwide ranking is against a bunch of people that you don't know becomes irrelevant. Who cares, man? Who cares? I'm going to stop there. You get the point. Friendships. I would rather maintain really strong friendships than have a ranking in the CrossFit Open. It doesn't matter if I won the CrossFit Games if I'm an asshole who has no friends. So let's forget that. Would I rather have my friendships or do double unders? Okay. I'd rather have my friendships. Would I rather be the strongest dude in the gym or have friends? Would I rather string toe to bar, handstand push-ups? Would I rather level up or have friends? Would I rather have my friendships and relationships or be rich? Would I rather spend my extra time with my friends, growing those relationships, or would I rather spend it reading and writing and learning how to cook? If I really had to choose one, obviously, I'd rather maintain my friendships. I'd sacrifice my health to maintain my friendships. Now, I'm an introverted person, so there are a lot of times I don't want to hang out with my friends. But the point of this exercise is, if it came down to it and I had to make a decision, would I rather spend the rest of my life alone reading and writing or with my friends? I would choose them. That's where they fell on the list. So when it comes to structuring my day to day, every day, I'm going to spend time in the morning practicing my faith, working on forgiveness, committing time and experiences and contributing to my family in the way that I need to, reaching out and connecting with friends, doing whatever I need to do to improve my health first thing in the morning. So maybe I'm stretching, maybe I'm exercising before work, maybe I'm learning how to cook things before work because I need to be healthy and I really want six-pack abs. That'd be cool. I'm going to read, even if it's a page. I'm going to write, even if it's just a sentence. Things that are going to contribute to make me happier and healthier because reading and writing is important to me. And then I'm really going to look at our financial situation, that we're healthy, we're budgeting, we have a clear picture, and I'm doing things that are going to forward my work and forward my career. Now, I happen to love my job, but if I didn't, I worked a job that I hated, that made me miserable, before I left for work, I would do things that would advance my career, that would advance the quality and the meaning of the work that I'm doing. And there's a ton of ways that you can do that. If you go to a job that you feel is meaningless, that you hate and you hate the people, there are things that you can do before you leave the house every single morning that would put you in a position to change that, to improve that, to do things differently. And every single morning, how quickly could you actually go through this list? Because it looks like, man, you got a ton of stuff. Wake up. Have a conversation with God. It takes you less than 10 seconds. 10 more seconds to forgive yourself for whatever it is that you're carrying that you know you don't need to be carrying. Like Carol's opinion that we just threw in the trash can. Maybe you weren't as nice to her as you wanted to. Maybe you didn't step up as big as you wanted to. For anything, in any situation, you know what? It's okay. People make mistakes. Try again today. Family. Kiss your spouse and your kids on the cheek before you leave the house. That's it. Write a little note, prep them breakfast, leave it for them when they wake up. Friendships. Text your friends. Are they working out? Are you working out? Done. Things for the health. Are you going to the gym before work? Do you have a minute to do 30 push-ups? Can you touch your toes real quick? Spend 30 seconds doing stretching? Are you going to cook yourself breakfast? And if you're not going to cook yourself breakfast, can you make yourself a healthy coffee before you actually leave the house? Get in the car. If there's nothing healthy that you can cook or eat, skip it. Wait till lunch. Maybe you couldn't cook lunch either. So you wait till dinner, you cook dinner. So what? Is that going to contribute to you getting your six-pack? Absolutely. While that coffee is brewing, because you don't have time to cook, because you're not going to eat breakfast in the morning, you can read one page and write one sentence. Maybe about the same thing, maybe about different things. I like to write whatever thought pops into my brain, and I like to read Daily Stoic, which is one page, which is really most of the time just half a page. Then I could look at my work and career situation, and I could do one thing that could advance it, which could be reading and writing about one subject. It could be applying for a new job. It could be working on one skill that might be required for that new job or anything. That got up, interacted with my family, brushed my teeth, took a shower, did 30 push-ups, skipped breakfast entirely, brewed a cup of coffee, read a page, wrote a sentence while that coffee was brewing. But then I had to leave the house, so I didn't have time to actively do anything to work on my career. That's a lie. I get in the car and I listen to a podcast that is going to help me gain knowledge and skills that are going to be required. And as soon as I pull up to work, I send a text message to somebody that can help me, or a quick email to somebody that can help me advance, or I send a message to my boss on how I could get a promotion and level up in my career. All of that takes just a couple of seconds. But how much better is your day going to be, and how much better are you going to feel when you take that whole thing? I mean, really 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes every day and get yourself from here to here. How much better are you going to feel about your level in the gym? How much better are you going to feel about how hard your Metcons are at home? How much better are you going to feel about what you ate for dinner last night, about your handstand push-ups, about your stretching? When you look at all of this here, I guess this is a good final way to end it. When you look at this ranking here, how are you going to feel about that French toast you ate for lunch and the 2 bowls of spaghetti you ate for dinner? Because you didn't cook things that were necessarily healthy. It's not helping you get six-pack abs. It's probably not helping your health overall, right? But the first thing we're going to do is practice forgiveness. Forgive yourself for making that freaking mistake. And it wasn't really a mistake. Having French toast and spaghetti in the same day really isn't that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. And in the long term, are you actively learning how to cook one 30-minute window per month? Then you're fine. Check it off the list. Forgive yourself for eating whatever the hell you ate. Who cares? And you'd rather have faith, forgiveness, family, friendships, overall health than a super strict diet. Really? If we think about it, and I wrote on one of these note cards, have the perfect diet. Would you rather have faith or the perfect diet? Forgiveness or the perfect diet? Family or the perfect diet? Friendships or the perfect diet? Would you rather be healthy or have a perfect diet? Would you rather learn how to cook and have six-pack abs or have a perfect diet? Because you don't have to have a perfect diet and learn how to cook, and six-pack abs don't require a perfect diet. So, perfect diet should be lower on the list. Would you rather spend your time reading or writing or obsessing about your diet? Would you rather spend your time growing your career or obsessing about how perfect your damn diet is? Get it? It's pretty long-winded. That was me actively working through a very small set of things that I wrote down. Some of them were really me, and a bunch of them were not. They were from you guys, but you can see how that exercise is actually going to give you some perspective and make you feel really good. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm real charged up, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to make these note cards again. I've got like 30 more I'm going to put in here. And that's a long time. I don't know how long I've been talking. This is probably like a 30-minute video, but it is helpful. It's worth 30 minutes on some Sunday to get you ready for your week. When you're really struggling with things, you commit extra time to work through it. And if this exercise was 270 note cards and it took you 2.5 hours, it would probably be a worthwhile investment. But what starts to happen is you start to trash things that get lower and lower on your list. Like we're sitting here right now from the list we just made. Coolest, nicest car? I don't care. No. Biggest house? Doesn't matter to me at all. Improve my rank in the CrossFit Open? Doesn't matter. Why? Because you don't have time to worry about everything. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. One of the best books. It's not that you don't care about anything. It's that you know you can only care about certain things, and you care about those things and commit your energy to that. You can't care about the rest of it. You can't worry about the rest of it. You don't have time. You don't have the energy. The more you do, things get sacrificed other places. So you start to crumble them up, and throw them away. Do I want to be the strongest dude in the gym when I rank it? I don't have time to worry about that. It's not important to me. It's not important. So your list starts to get shorter and you start to cycle it through. And you can do this with every emotion and feeling that you have. I feel stuck. I want to be independent. I want to get out of my parents' house. I want to get out of my siblings' house. I want to buy a house. I want to get out of an apartment. I want to do all these different things. You rank it, and it'll grow the list and shrink the list, and you come back to it over and over and over again. I'm going to do more probably on this because it's a lot of fun for me. It's definitely worthwhile going through, and I didn't even get to all the cards that I had. So it's really cool. Hope you guys do it.